I guess if I could answer that, I would probably not be sitting here, but rather presenting a poster. So it's kind of tough to to come up with something on the spot. Hey, I'm Karol, and today I'll be answering impossible questions by researchers. Could start me from the bottom. If you could redesign one aspect of current AI architectures from scratch, what would it be and why? I guess if I could answer that, I would probably not be sitting here, but rather presenting a poster. So it's kind of tough to to come up with something on the spot. But I think it's not really architectures, but I guess I would redesign a lot of things in the tools that we're using and the libraries that we're using to develop them, because they were sort of not ready for the growth, I think, a lot of them, and not ready for the complexity and the amount of people that were using them. What's a belief about model training that you've held onto for years but are starting to question? Something that I learned in this conference, that batch size is not important apparently at all, and you should never tune it, which I always thought that higher batch sizes could result in better scores, right? Because you average over it's less fluctuating in the training performance. But apparently you can reach the same results regardless of the batch size, and it just matters for the other parameters. So that was something I learned, and I started to question, I guess. In your opinion, what should GPU-rich companies do to make research more accessible to GPU-poor labs, assuming that it is their goal? That's a great question. Well, the obvious answer is that they should share their GPUs, right? That they could just let researchers use them for free for non-commercial work. But that's always, if they want it. But I guess it's saying here that assuming that this is their goal. It's sort of the same situation as with papers, right? Because on one hand, for the companies, it doesn't make sense to publish their discoveries. They should just keep them for themselves, and the same with GPUs. But on the other hand, publishing and sharing resources as well pushes the whole community forward. So it also impacts your product positively, even if it impacts the competition as well. So I guess if companies are publishing papers, then they should publish their GPUs as well. And that's probably why we have collab and these kind of things. But yeah, I don't like that, the huge advancement in AI recently. It came at an expense sort of small companies, because now everything is big, every model is large, and there's a handful of players in the market that can actually do research, and not everybody can afford it anymore. And people are telling me that, if you're an ML engineer, then now you have a job for sure everywhere, but it's actually not the case, because only a few companies can afford you and the GPUs needed. So it would definitely be cool if we could invest in some, common infrastructure for researchers and for everybody to be able to afford doing science, because science should be for everybody, right? So what combination of existing tech plus new developments will it take for us to run billion parameter architectures on edge devices? I think we're making really good progress with things like that, along the efficient inference in terms of continuous batching, in terms of speculative decoding, mixtures of experts, and so on. There are also people who work specifically, I believe, on attention and how you could make it even quicker, even more parallelizable, specifically for inference, because attention it's very efficient in training, right? But not so much maybe in inference. So I believe one breakthrough is there, and pushing more forward the things we already have for efficient inference with continuous batching and so on. I believe we could be there. Obviously, edge devices, there's also a problem with storage now, and that they don't even load into memory. And there's only there's a limit to how much you can quantize, right? Even if you go to 1-bit weights, it still will take a lot. So I guess we need something more than just quantization and just efficient loading. I guess it has to be on the edge device side then as well, to try to help us in this sense if we really want to run them locally.